Well, good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, you're having a great Monday morning. If you are wanting to do your math in the morning before our Zoom time, here is a video of something you get head start, and then at our meeting, we can emphasize on the troubleshoot areas that you need. All right. You will be happy because on Monday's assignment, it's only one page of math, and that is on page 229. Okay, and it is areas of complex figures. Now let me go over the example of what is going to be done. I know it says complex, so there's two different things you need to do, and then either you're going to add or you're going to subtract. So for example, if they give you a rectangle, and so you see this portion that's missing, right? So the dotted line is saying there's two different types of rectangles, okay? So because of two, you got to do two different formulas, and then you're going to either add it or subtract it. So let me explain this, and then I can explain the four complex figures for you. Okay, for the first one, they give you the measurements of the length times width. You already know the area, a formula for area is A equals L times W for rectangle, right? So once you know the formula, then you're going to write the actual formula here. So remember, length is 7, so there's a 7 times 3, and 3 here. Then you multiply that, and then it's 21 square inches. Now you need to figure out what this one is, okay? So they give you the 4 inches here. So it's a rectangle. So it's A times L times W. A equals 6 times 4. Now you got the 4, and you're wondering, where did I get the 6? Remember what we did before? This is 9, and you subtract 9 from 4, okay? Just because you need to figure out what this section is. So that's where you get the 6 from, okay? So 6 times 4. It's if you multiplied it, it should be 24 square inches. Then you're going to take these two. So you're going to have to figure out, am I adding these two answers or am I subtracting it? So you already got 21 and you got 24. Now you got to add this in order to figure out the whole thing, because it says find the area of the complex figures, the whole thing. So you're going to add these two up, and so when you do that, it should be 45 square inches. Now this is just a sample of what you need to do. Now look what, if you looked at your page, look how different it is. It is a circle within a square, it is two rectangles, it is a rectangle and a triangle, and this is a triangle with a circle. So see how complex it is? So that's why we're going to go over some of these things with you. Okay, I'm not going to give you the answers, but I'll show you how it's done. All right, so remember, just like this one, you need to find the two different types of figures, right? So here you're doing two different figures. First is the square, and then it is a circle. So to figure that out, I did this for you here. So here's the actual thing. So remember, here you see it says 2.5 feet of that, and then it's 2.5 feet. Now let's go ahead and figure out the square first, okay? If you already know the area of a square is A equals S square, right? See, I'm not going to do it for you because I want you to understand what that is. Now remember, if it's a square, we're not talking about this, then you already know that if this is 2.5, 2.5 plus 2.5, so isn't that, you should already know what that is, okay? You add them. So you add 2.5 and you add another 2.5. Remember, I'm not going to give you the answer. Then you're going to write that here, and then it's going to be, remember, it's going to still be in the square formula. Then you need to go ahead and multiply that, right? So whatever this is. So again, for the first section, you need to, we're doing the square, right? So if they give you 2.5, because this is a complete square. So 2.5 plus 2.5, okay? No, don't multiply it. Okay, then you get the square answer here, and then you'll figure out what that is. The second portion of this is a circle. Okay, remember, we're all in areas. Okay, so because of it, you already know the formula. You should know pi times square radius is the area of a circle. Okay, then you already know 2.5. They give you over 2.5 here. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and 2.5 square. Remember, that's the radius, because remember, half of from here. So 3.14 times 2.5, okay, square. So then, like we did on Friday, you are able to figure that out, and there you go, square feet. So there's two things. The first portion, it's the formula area of a square. The second portion is the form. Now, after you find these answers, you're going to say, well, do I add these two answers or do I subtract these two answers? But remember, this is within. So whenever you're doing a circle or any figures within a square, you're subtracting, you're taking it out. You're taking the whole chunk of that circle out, okay? So that's why you subtract it. So you're going to subtract the answer to this and the answer to the second problem, and make sure you line up the decimal, because if we're subtracting or adding, you gotta line up the decimal, right? And then you'll find you have to give me the answer. So you're gonna have, there's gonna be answer here I'm looking for, I'm gonna grade you on that, and I'm also gonna grade you on this section, and then also what they're asking, you need to subtract these two to do that. So there's 3 different answers, okay? So that's for A. For B, there is 2 rectangles you need to figure out, right? So you already know all the way across is 12 meters. There's 5, and see there's the measurements here, okay? So here's a big chunk they took out. So because there's 2 rectangles you need to figure out, that's why you need to do the area of a rectangle, which you should already know by now. A equals length times width. Though if you're going to do the first portion, you already know the length, right? And you should know the width. So that's all you need to do, 9 times 5. Now on the second portion, you see this, but you need to figure this one out, right? So look what if it's 12. So you're going to take 12 and subtract 12 by 5, then you're going to get that, and then you're going to multiply that by 4. Okay? So just again, just make sure that you got that section right. Okay? And then after that, the reason why you're adding it is because you got to add these two, the area of the 2 rectangles, in order to figure out what the missing thing is. So get an answer here, I need an answer here, and then also you need to give me, after you add these 2 answers up, you have to give me the area of the 2 answers, okay? So that's what I want you to do. So each section, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 answers, 1, 2, 3, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. If you don't give me the answer when I say subtract or add, then it's going to be wrong, because remember, it's only this page, so you have to get everything right or your grade is not going to be good. Okay, let's look at C. Okay, on C, it gives you a rectangle and also gives you a square. So you need to find the area of a rectangle and you need to find an area of, square, of a triangle, okay? So here I drew this for you. Remember, these are right angles. Okay, right angles. So all the way across of here is 16, and then 12 is from here, okay? So, and then the 8 will be on the side there. All right, so let's find the formula for area of a rectangle, which is A equals L times W. Okay, so you already know of that, of the length. So you're gonna have to do, you figure out 12, right? So you're gonna be 12 times 8. You guys, you see that? 12 times 8, that's the first part, because you got to do this. Then they ask you, oh, here's a triangle. You need to find the area of a triangle. So remember, area of a triangle is A equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, and then you already know 1/2. Then remember, you should already know what the base is for that section. So the base, look at this. If it's 16 across here, then you got the base, and then here's the height. So it's going to be 8, right? So going to be 8 times, you're going to subtract 16 from 12. Remember 12, and then 16 is all the way across to figure out what this is, okay? So 16 subtracted by 12, that's what the base is, and then the height is just 8. So that's what you multiply and then divide it by 2, okay? Then you can figure that out. So again, the first section for length times width is just of this section right here, so which is 12 times 8, and then for the triangle, it is, remember, subtract 16 from 12, then you multiply that by 8, and then you find your square yards. Okay, then after you figure that out, you got to add it, because this is the whole section, right? So you got to add the answer to this, and then the answer to your triangle, and then and that's what you get the answer for the third portion. So again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last complex one is it's going to be a circle, and you're going to do there is a triangle within the circle. Okay, so we're going to figure how to do that. So this is what it looks like. They give you 10 feet all the way across. This is the right angle, and then here's the triangle. Okay, so you already know that you have to figure out what the circle is. So area of a circle is A equals pi times square radius. the area of a triangle is A equals half times base times height. So once you get that, I think you'll be able to do all of those correctly. All right, so look at the circle here. We're going to go all the way across. So remember, in a circle, it is remember the formula, 3.14 times, remember, it's going to be radius. So half of 10, because they're not asking for diameter, they're asking for radius. So half of 10, isn't that 5? So then you're going to do 3.14 times 5 square. Then 3.14 times 25, because 5 times 5, right? So that's how you do that problem. So don't get confused. Remember, the radius is from the center to the one side. The second one is they're asking for the triangle, okay? So triangle, you already know what remember, this is the base, okay? It's just switched backwards. So look at the base, which is, you got that. So the base is, remember, they're asking only half of that. So you're going to do 1/2 times 5. Half of 10 is 5, okay? 5 times the height. 5. So they just kind of, remember, it's half of that. So it is half of that, which is 5, and then half of that, because it's not all the way across, right? It's only from here to here. So that's 5. So it's going to be 1/2 times 5 times 5. So that's what, so don't get confused and just put 10 across, because that's what they're asking, okay? They're asking half of this, all right? So that is going to be 1/2. See, 1/2 times base times height, and then divide it, and you need to do that. So for this one, you need to subtract it, because remember, you're taking it out. It's just like the circle within the square or something like that we did before, which is, this problem is going to be very similar to this one. See, this one is within, is isosceles with that, and then this is within. The other two, you just need to add it, okay? So for this one, you need to subtract it. Subtract the two areas, subtract whatever answer you get there and the answer there, and then line up the decimal. Do you have it? And then there you go to find what that is. But I'm going to take half point off if you don't write square feet, okay? Square feet. This is square yards, okay? And then and then for B, it is square meters, and then this will be square feet. All right, hopefully this video has helped, and able to do this with you. I'm not writing because I want you guys to figure this out. Try to do as much as you can. You can review it. If you have a question, skip it, and during our Zoom meeting, we'll be able to go over any questions you have. So you're only doing page 229 for Monday's assignment. If you want to do extra credit and read through that, you can do that and submit that, and then I can give you extra credit if you got it correct. All right, have a good Monday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.